See? She's pretty.
Bald?
Bald.
Nice. She's holding a hotel key. She's in a hotel hallway.
That just came out of me. Like, yeah. I wasn't even trying to be funny. That just, I blurted that out. I just blurted that out. God damn.
Give us one more.
Yeah, one more.
Well, you tell me when to stop here. I'll go to the next page.
All right.
Yeah.
And what is this website for the people at home?
Come on, well.
It's,
well, we're going to Asian Broad.
Asian Broad.
It's guesshermuff.blogspot.com.
Oh,
Jesus.
I like it.
You want to do the Asian girl?
Wow, that's
I think that might be too easy.
I would say.
The Asian girl's got a landing strip.
Yeah.
I say Natch. They usually don't do much down there.
Yeah, they usually don't. I'll say
Is she in
natural.
America, though? What kind of Asian
say.
are we looking at?
I don't know. It's like a college dorm or something.
I'll still go with like a landing strip.
I'll go full patch.
Guess that muff. Here we go.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, hello.
Shaved totally.
Hello.
Man.
Damn, body like a fucking 10-year-old.
I love the people that get mad that when we do visual stuff. Fuck, man.
Oh,
then
fuck
you
yourself.
we just turned you on to a great website.
Everything's...
How about somebody's stepmother?
All right, an old broad.
Jesus, that's a big
Old broad.
fucking bush.
Hold on, let's go with this. So it's an old broad getting on a train, like a sensible haircut, short, just below her ears,
And
business suit, sort of.
I don't know if this helps, if this adds anything, or maybe it's a clue, but the train that she's getting on is Eurostar.
Eurostar, yeah.
This has to be from
those
across the old pond.
I'm saying
Those animals grow it all in. This
big
is a natural
fucking
motherfucking
nasty old lady bush. She's gonna surprise us, right?
5 minutes before Ben Stiller,
Yeah.
we're going to take a break in a second then.
Here we
Go
go.
ahead. This is going to be old natural. Landing strip?
Ugh. Look at her though. That
Christ.
wreck.
Horrible pose for the old broad.
Yeah.
She looks like
Indian
Lady
style,
Di.
a little like Lady Di.
Mike in Pennsylvania.
Hey guys, my favorite
Mike.
thing on that, I've been on this site for a long time.
Okay.
My favorite's the bonus booby pics.
What's the bonus booby pics about?
Oh, sometimes you get another shot. You can see they're wearing the same outfit as the original photo, and just discarded in the background
Oh.
somewhere. But it's the full package.
Nice.
Oh, here's a bonus pic of Asian girl.
Oh, okay, there it is. Wow.
Good stuff.
Wow, she's been poked in the shitter a couple
Oh,
times.
yeah. Nice.
Thank you,
That's
Mike.
a hell of a sight.
Hey, that one right there. I want to see that one.
The blonde?
Yeah, right there. That's so natural. It's not even funny.
You think?
No, I mean so bald.
Hippie broad?
No,
Yeah, I
so
think that's
bald.
baldness.
Very good-looking blonde, slender. All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's nothing there.
Look at that.
She's just sitting out on the beach with her legs
Wide
akimbo.
open.
Look at that.
Oh.
Hi, how are you? We didn't know they were
We're just, well, that was a little... We got caught there, didn't we?
How about a little warning
Just-
before we walk Ben Stiller in?
Just burning a little time while we
This is called filler,
wait for
Ben.
you, Ben.
It's called Guess. Is that still Guess Her Muff? It's like where they show the picture of the girl dressed and then they show her naked. You have to guess what
Sorry,
hairstyle
Ben,
she's
that
sporting.
you had to walk in on that.
Jesus.
Awkward.
I feel like I know. I feel like I was caught by some
erotic energy in this room.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry.
Bunch of men. How creepy is that? Curtains are
It
drawn.
really is bad.
Yeah, the curtains are drawn. We're just in here looking at naked girls. It's a good idea for a website, though. Guess that muff.
Hope you had a nice piss, Arnold.
You know what? You beat me to it.
All right.
Yeah, beat me to it.
Ben's like, great. They booked me on this show. Wonderful.
But I think you have to apologize. No guy minds walking in and seeing that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with just a bunch of...
Yeah.
I saw like half a nipple, really.
It's just a little odd. Yeah. How you doing? Good.
I'm
I
good.
hope.
How are you doing?
Very well, sir.
Yeah.
You got another movie coming out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You make a lot of movies.
I make. I have made a lot of movies.
Yeah.
You're right. There have been a few.
I've been a fan since
than
your
a few.
your TV show.
Oh, thanks.
Which was
a great
really
show.
funny, underrated.
Absolutely.
The whole thing with medieval cops was hysterical.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was. Thank you. It was back in. Back in
that was
the day.
a while ago. Kind of when you, and then all of a sudden, movies. That's popping up in movies.
You know what I like about this?
pretty
Like, I
good.
actually saw this, and I like the fact that you're actually putting Steve Coogan in movies. Because
Yeah.
he's not in enough stuff. I'm a big Alan Partridge fan, and I mean, seeing him in this one and the first one, the guy's hilarious. He's actually a really good actor.
He's a great British comedian, and he, I saw the Alan Partridge Show a few years ago, which is just incredibly funny. You know, he plays this fake talk show host. I thought that was sort of what he looked like and what he was like, but he's really doing a character.
Right.
And then met him in London one time, and then we've worked a few times together, which has been great.
Alan Partridge is such a weird show. I'm not to go on a tangent, but because it actually was no audience, but it used the laugh track and it worked. Like normally you see that and it just stinks, but that actually, for some reason, the laugh track belonged in that show.
Yeah, I think they ruined like MASH with a laugh track.
Terrible! I can't watch the old MASH
How
anymore.
would they do that?
But how funny is it? You come in to promote a movie, we're talking about MASH.
I loved MASH though. As a kid.
Yeah, but then you realize like there's a laugh track in it.
Yeah. But back then, I didn't think about it.
No, it didn't bother you back then for some reason.
And it was weird because it wasn't like like a sitcom where it was shot in front of an audience. It was sort of shot,
it was shot like out in the hills of California or something, and
so
some
like the audience
set.
was everywhere.
Yeah.
They were out in Korea.
They were with you.
The audience was out.
It was like some Chinese in the woods waiting to invade, just kind of going, "Oh, that Hawkeye,
laughing. Yeah,
he is a pisser."
That's what Mark said, and he was right. He said he thought the laugh track ruined comedy because you didn't have to be funny because the reaction was already there.
Yeah.
So
it's such a strange thing when you really think about it, the laugh track. And now it's sort of gone away, kind of. You know, the Office was, I think, responsible on American television for sort of like making it okay to do shows where you don't have a laugh track.
Thank God.
Really odd to just have that. Who thought of that one? Where it's like we need some laughs so the people laugh along.
And you can always pick out the one that there's always that one laugh that would go like, like a little higher than everybody else. I'm like, oh, it's awful. I don't think MASH holds up humor-wise, and I love it. It's my favorite show ever. But I think the serious moments and the poignant stuff holds up.
Right.
But a lot of the laughs, it was a little too, for the time great, but a little too kind of jokey and
back and forthy.
It's interesting when you go back and look at stuff. But I love MASH too. That was like, I was so into it.
I preferred After MASH with
remember that with trying to keep that horse running.
Who was it? William Christopher and Jamie Farr and I think Harry Morgan decided to.
The people that got peripheral storylines.
Yeah, they should have
MASH.
called it Everyone But Hawkeye.
Everyone but Hawkeye.
We should talk about Night at the Museum too.
Yes.
The first one was a monster.
Yes. Well, yeah.
And what's weird is because they got a lot of nephews and nieces. Now when you go to the museum, they know all the stuff.
Yeah, it was actually
You're
a nice
teaching.
thing. It was a positive thing. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily accurate information.
Right.
It's sort of like just whatever's going to work for the movie and be funny, but at least it gets kids interested.
Right.
And then they can go and read the real stuff.
They want to go to the museum because of Night at the Museum.
Yeah.
They didn't care ahead, before.
Exactly. And that's, I think, that was kind of a cool thing about the movie that it sort of, because I grew up, my generation going to the museum was what we did.
A field trip. It was like you take a field trip.
It was a cool field trip.
I used to go out from Long Island, and you'd have to fill out your permission slip, and we'd go to the Museum of Natural History, and it was just an amazing place, Or so huge.
Yeah.
And
You had a better high school because we went and saw Danny Kaye. Ugh. Why would you bring kids to see Danny Kaye?
Danny Kaye.
How old are you?
Danny Kaye fired my parents from a show once.
Did he?
Yes.
Yeah, well, fuck Danny Kaye then.
That's what I say. He was a great screen comedian, but fired my parents. So
I think it was some kind of musical or
Stiller
something.
Mira?
Who
fired Stiller and Mira? What were they doing
I know.
wrong? They were being Stiller and Mira. Right. Like, what's
Get rid
the
of
problem? Get rid of them. I thought they were another act.
Too much attitude.
Wait, was Danny?
Too much attitude. Jesus Christ.
Was he glass coffee table guy or was that Danny Thomas?
No, Danny. Neither was.
Who was? There was one of the
Danny
Dannys with glass
Thomas'
coffee.
March of Dimes.
No, one of them was glass coffee table as well, not just Chuck. I'm telling you,
Tell me what is glass coffee table?
Oh, man.
Jesus.
Why'd you ask?
I think I know what you mean.
It's when you lay under a table and you watch somebody do something. It's like people
I think
are
I know what you're
allegedly
talking
into
about.
that.
Yeah. I thought that was Chuck Berry.
Yes, him as well.
Yeah.
But there was a white guy too. We represented
Really?
somehow. I just don't. I don't remember who it was.
Well, wasn't it Sylvester had a little of that going on? One of our famous...
Stallone, yeah. Well, what are we going to do?
Why are we talking about...
It's nice to go there, yeah.
We have movies to talk about. For the love of God. What's
family movies?
Yes,
family movies.
Now this one's a little different because it's Smithsonian.
Yeah, which we also did a field trip to in 7th grade. Did you? Do
you
the
did?
Smithsonian?
Nah, I lived in New York, so to go out of state would have been crazy.
No, it was a big thing.
I would have cried.
Really?
I would have cried too. Like if my mother had to be a class mother on those field trips, or I would cry.
Yeah.
I was the biggest crybaby.
I was too. I once got off an airplane that was headed for Maine to go to camp. I got off the plane on the tarmac.
And that plane later crashed. Everyone was lost.
I wish there was some justification.
Yeah, there was no. It made it. Everyone had fun except you.
My mother was horrified. And but we took the buses down to the Smithsonian. That was exciting. 7th grade and sleepover and girls, and it became like a thing. Like,
did you have a pretty normal upbringing? Because you kind of didn't really hit the public scene until you were, in your 20s, I guess.
Late 40s.
Late 40s, somewhere around there. You're just breaking into the business. But having parents that were as famous as your parents, it would seem like you would have been kind of in the spotlight a little earlier than you were.
Well, we were around, but I think it was a different time. My parents are New Yorkers. They never went to the whole, they didn't like to go to L.A. or Hollywood to go to work out there, but it was just sort of like low key, and they did their thing, and just.
I thought you would have kind of been launched into the business, or wanted
I was
to.
trying. I mean, I wanted to be. I knew I wanted to be a director. I knew I wanted to be an actor, but I was like trying to figure out how to do it for a long time, and I wasn't getting work for a long time too.
Yeah.
So like in my early 20s, I was just sort of auditioning and.
Was it tough because
failing.
your parents were who they are, and it's like, oh, well,
you
he
can't.
just wants to.
You can't really fail anonymously within the business. You know what I mean? Like you go in and people you audition. Oh, that's Jerry and Ann's kid, and then you'll suck, and then they'll be like,
oh yeah,
okay. That's great. Good luck.
By the way, he sucks.
Yeah, and you kind of it's for a while that just you just have to kind of go through that and be willing to deal with that. But everybody has their own set of issues. I think when you're trying to make it. So like some people who don't have any sort of connection to the business, that's a huge hurdle. And it wasn't like it was. You just have to deal with your own set of.
And what was the first thing you did where you realized, okay, I think I got my foot in the door here?
Well, I got a part in a play in 1986 off Broadway. This play called House of Blue Leaves that was running at Lincoln Center, and that was my first job that I got.
Was it comedy or?
It was sort of a comedy that had, it was a comedy basically, and it went to Broadway and it ran for a while, and that was sort of what. And a lot of people came to it, and I got a job based, from that. I got a job, a little part in Empire of the Sun, the Steven Spielberg movie.
Oh yeah.
And
did Christian Bell yell at you?
He did not yell at me at that
little
age.
kid. Little kid, he was yelling at you.
I stayed out of the eye line. No, but he was like 10 or whatever, and but I had a little part in that, and that was sort of.
Wow, I'm gonna have to.
That wasn't it though. Then I had to keep on auditioning.
Yeah, and keep.
And nothing. Yeah, it took a while after that.
Trying to do it.
Your mom was in Fame.
That's right.
I love your mother in Fame.
She plays the tough English teacher.
Yeah, she really scolds Leroy. That was one of my favorite movie scenes. When he breaks up the whole classroom and runs out, and then he confronts her in the hospital, and she shames him.
She does. She shames him.
Yeah. Don't you kids ever think of anyone but yourselves? And he's like, just stop. It's great.
That's my mom.
They have had just a great career. I mean,
they're incredible.
Seinfeld and everything just.
Hysterical. It's they worked together for so long, and then Seinfeld was like a whole new thing for my dad, and I just actually did a thing with them for the internet where they're just doing like a little sort of like 3-minute sort of like just commenting on the day's events together, and they're just so funny.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, because they just.
Gee, do they have good chemistry together?
It's just like basically, there's no script, and they just do it, and they're incredible, and they're just, and they go to weird places because they just go off of each other, and they'll start talking about, torture, and then my dad will end up talking about his hip, like what's your, in the United States and torture, and he'll say, like self-catheterization, that's torture.
You'll watch him as a kid arguing and just sit there going, funny, look, they're arguing.
Well, it's funny when you're an adult.
Someday millions will enjoy what I see as a child.
Did you ever have them come to something? Can we all do stuff that you look back on and you go, I didn't like that much. Did you ever have them come to one of your projects or a premiere that you didn't like, and they have to kind of try to be nice about it, and you're like, look, just
stop.
Just let me know.
We all know this wasn't one of my better ones.
Well, yeah, my dad is like a super supportive dad, so he'd always just be like, yeah, that was great, that was great. My mom was a little bit tougher critic, so like I remember like first I got a part in a little part in this movie called Fresh Horses a long time ago, and she was like, and I was excited because it was the sort of the best friend part, and she was, she sort of said, yeah, it was all right, you played sort of a braggadocio character. I was like, what is that word? What does braggadocio mean? Which I guess my character was like a braggart.
So you can say braggart.
What? Yeah. I still don't even know what a braggart is.
Throwing the Oshio in there is a little.
She was trying to say your character was a prick, but she was saying it nicely.
Basically is what, exactly. But then, and my dad, though, everything's great. And, because I think he didn't get a lot of approbation when he was a kid. He grew up in a poor family during the Depression, and his parents didn't want him to be an actor. So he's, he instead was really supportive to his kids. I think it's great. That's positive.
Did you think Tropic Thunder was going to be as big as it was when you were making it? And
it was a little bit of a flyer, that movie. In terms of not knowing, because
you must have been a little worried too at some of the content.
I had no idea. I had no idea whether or not people would take to Robert Downey's character, and it was an idea that I'd had for about since Empire of the Sun, because that was a war movie, and I just always thought actors doing war movies would be something funny to do a movie about, and it took a while to get it together, and so when we finally got it made, it was like, it wasn't a cheap movie to make, it was a little bit edgy, it was rated R, and so I didn't know how people would respond, especially Downey's character. And then I was sort of, I was very happy that people, sort of got.
Yeah, that could have completely backfired if done, I think, by someone else, done differently.
Yes.
You might have gotten people going, oh, I'm outraged or something. But
yeah,
he pulled it off beautifully.
I thought there were very few people who could actually play that part that people would accept doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
And, he's just uniquely sort of suited to be able to do that, where he can just go out there and do that, and people get that where he's coming from.
Plus, it was seen as a stereotype of black characters in war movies, which is a stereotype that exists. So it's almost like, hey, I'm making fun of black people, making fun of the stereotype of them in war films.
I mean, that was the idea behind all of the characters in the movies, that were making fun of the actors taking themselves too seriously, for the the character I was doing, his character, all of it. But
the whole speech about going full retard. That is just that is amazing. It's amazing, and the balls you guys had to go there.
The clips of you as
amazing.
the retarded gentleman in that movie that you were doing,
right?
Well, that was when I wasn't expecting that controversy to happen. Which happened. I was.
Right?
We were so braced for I screened the movie for the NAACP and all that. I was really, and then that sort of came and sort of came up from behind.
Just amazing.
The face. You were making
what was your name? What was the character name?
Simple Jack.
Simple Jack.
It was so wrong. I loved it.
And you should be able to do that in films.
Of course, it's funny.
Especially in a comedy. Come on.
Oh, go full retard.
I think actors are pretty easy targets,
And who knew Tom Cruise had it in him to do what he did?
That was another thing that was a
I
huge surprise.
Yeah, well, he just, he went for it. I think I give him credit for just saying, whatever, let's just have fun.
How do you make that call?
It's a really weird thing on that one. It was just Tom, I had shown him the script, and he had the idea for the character. It was actually his idea to play studio head. Yeah. And then he gave me that idea, and then we went back and wrote it. So it was it just happened organically.
The fat arms on him, it was just great. Yeah. He really skewered them.
What it is? It's nice to know what he really thinks about studio execs, because you can't just pull that out of your ass, He probably has been in that situation.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, side by side. Great makeup job and everything.
Ben only has a couple more minutes.
Yeah.
So, Night at the Museum 2.
Yes, Night at the Museum 2.
It's
at the Smithsonian. So a lot of different characters from history and stuff.
Well,
and
there are characters from history. A lot of actors in the movie, funny actors.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill's in it, Bill Hader,
Owen Wilson, and Steve Coogan, who I love.
And a little Gervais in there.
Oh, Ricky Gervais is hilarious.
Christopher Guest
Christopher
plays
Guest.
Ivan the Terrible.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's a crazy cast. It was a really fun, set to hang out on. Hank Azaria plays the bad guy. He plays this evil Egyptian pharaoh who sort of has a list.
I hate Hank. Yeah. He's in much too good a shape.
Yeah,
dude, what guns on that guy?
I know.
Yeah, and the whole movie, he's got his guns out.
Oh, bastard!
He's kind of like Boris Karloff with guns.
Creepy / well built.
Yeah.
It's obviously going to be a hit. Cause I was watching it, going 10-year-olds are going to love this too. It's it's like some of the humor is like adult humor, but it's like you have to kind of be a little older to get it.
Mm-hmm.
But just because of what's happening, you're in a museum and you're running around with giant octopus and all this shit chasing it. It's like kids are definitely gonna love it.
Yeah, I mean, I find that's there's like this sort of the creatures and stuff younger kids respond to, and then older people respond to like the jokes and the humor and stuff.
That girl is fantastic. Who played Amelia Earhart?
Amy Adams.
Oh, she's sexy.
She's amazing. She was nominated for an Oscar this year for Doubt, and she's
holy crap, that's right.
Amelia
actress.
A little more manly in real life.
Yeah, she looked.
Amelia was a little more. Yeah, masculine.
She looked really good.
Yeah.
There was only one part of the movie I had a problem with, and that was they were in D.C. and they said, we got to get to New York, and it was like, all right, we got an hour. And they took off and they made it in an hour. That I had a very serious issue with. I didn't like the time framing of that. But
the character has a private plane.
Yeah, there you
waiting
go.
for him at all times.
Waiting on the tarmac.
But the first one was massive. This will obviously be massive. 'Cause it was weird to see, all right, the first one, you do that in the museum, so what do you do to make the second movie different? And it was different, because all the characters were different, and it was a different movie. And there was something that you guys added with the pictures, which I thought was great, kind of going inside of pictures. It was really interesting.
Well, that was the cool thing about the Smithsonian, so there's new stuff to come to life. And I think it was just important that we had an idea behind it that made it different. And, because at the end of the movie, everybody's so happy, and I'm like the night guard, and I'm happy. So we wanted to figure out a way to start it out where for some reason, things aren't going so well. So my inventions, because I'm an inventor in the movie, the inventions have taken off. So I'm doing infomercials with George Foreman.
Which was hilarious. It was another great, without saying they were skewering it, with the cheese dick industry of people selling their own stuff. Really accurate. Really accurate.
And we got to meet George Foreman, which was exciting.
Yeah, what a set of mitts on that guy.
Oh my God. We shook his hand once. Ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous.
They're giving us the wrap up.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks for coming in. Sorry about, a little awkwardness on the screen when we first
kind of got excited.
Yeah,
really.
I think it was good.
Where am I?
We ought to start every interview like that.
Getting my day going.
Have some smut on the screen and bring the guests in unannounced.
Yeah. Did anybody guess? Did anybody guess who it was?
Yeah, we had a few guesses.
Well, if you want to guess one, Ben, I mean, you're more than welcome.
No, I have to go. I got to. Great talking to you guys.
Ben Stiller, Night at the Museum 2 starts Thursday or Friday?
Friday.
Okay.
All right.
It's going to be a hit. You don't even have to be here, so good luck to you. Good luck to you. It's Ben Stiller. What am I saying? We'll take a break.
I get a quick picture. Yeah.
There were times when I was doing Jack that I actually felt retarded, like really retarded.
Damn.
In a weird way, I had to sort of just free myself up to believe that it was okay to be stupid or dumb.
To be a moron.
Yeah.
To be moronical.
Exactly.
An imbecile.
Yeah. When I was playing the character.
When you was a character.
Yeah, I mean, as Jack. Definitely.
Yeah. It's like working with Mercury. It's high science, man. It's art form.
Yeah.
You an artist.
That's what we do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
What do you mean?
Check it out. Dustin Hoffman, Rain Man, look retarded, act retarded. Not retarded. Count 2 picks, cheated cards. Autistic. Show. Not retarded. You got Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump. Slow, yes, retarded maybe, braces on his legs, but he charmed the pants off next to him and they won a ping pong competition. That ain't retarded. You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
I love oranges. Secret messages, Ant. Secret messages all the time. Denied. Fucking Lakers. Opie and Anthony finally decided, you know what? I'm going to get into the NBA playoffs.
How? You don't even play.